Hi guys, what's up? I'm Jeff Papadnara Custom. So today, we have a brand new reaction video from Vick Almighty of Rejuvenator. This video is a restoration of Air Jordan 7 Michael Finley Player Edition. So yeah, I'm excited with this video. By the way, Vick Almighty is my idol. He's my inspiration. Yeah, so let's start this reaction video. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this episode of Restoration with Vic. For today's episode, we got another rare player edition sneaker. This time, the Michael Finley Jordan 7s. These are very similar to the French Blue 7s that came out a couple times over the last 20 years.
Guys, si Vick Almighty yung dahilan kung bakit ako nag-start ng gandong kind ng business. Yeah, napanood ko siya before bago ako mag-start. So, lahat ng videos niya before pinapanood ko. So, nag-upload siya every Mondays.
The main difference between those and these are the stitch 4s on both shoes.
So, itong video na to guys, kaka-upload lang niya kahapon. So, yeah, today ko papanoorin. Today is Tuesday.
The leather tongues, and the overall quality of these shoes. For those of you who don't know Michael Finley, he's an NBA legend. He played for a few different teams, but he's mostly known for playing with the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. These shoes are from his Dallas Mavericks days. The overall condition of these are great, but age has gotten to them. On the rubber outsoles, there's yellowing going on. We gotta get that out. On the leather, it's pretty dried out as well. We got
Sobrang kinis pa ng sapatos guys, no?
to recondition that using some mink oil. The biggest problem with these shoes are the back tabs. They have completely deteriorated off. We gotta replace these. We got a lot of work ahead of us, guys, so without further ado, let's get it started. All right, let's get straight into it. The first step we're gonna be working on is the rubber toe caps. They are yellowed, so for this step, we're gonna be using some Rejuvenator Soul Revive. You can find this at
Oh. Dati guys, ang ginagamit niya, Salon Care 40. So, nagkaroon na rin ng Rejuvenator ng solution para sa pampaputi. Nice.
rejuvenator.com. We're gonna apply a thin coat of Soul Revive onto the toe caps, place a saran wrap over it, then put it in the indoor setup for about 30 minutes. When we come back, they should be fully white.
Pero malamang Salon Care 40 rin naman. Salon Care 40, ginagamit yun guys pampatanggal ng mga yellowed soles. Indoor setup guys, meron din tayong ganyan.
Toe caps are back to white. Only took about 30 minutes using my indoor setup. You don't have to use that if you don't have one. You can just use a simple sun. Now we're on to the real damage on these shoes, the back tabs. These shoes are from 2002, 2003, so that makes them really old. That's why the back tabs have completely deteriorated away. Now we gotta replace them. So for this step, we had to go get some donors. I went on eBay, picked up these size 13 French Blue 7s. They were size 13, so I figured it was a close enough size to a size 15. Once I took it off and put it on this shoe, it was way too small. So I had to go back on eBay and find a size 15 to match this shoe. Luckily, it should be a perfect match. So for this, we're gonna grab an X-Acto knife and chop off these donuts.
Pag marami kang pera, pwede yun. Pero, yung tulad namin na bago lang sa restoration and customization, syempre mahirap yun. Alam ka naman, bibili pa tayo ng ganun, di ba?
To get them ready to put on the Michael Finley Jordan 7s.
Kala ko gagawa siya ng bago, hindi pala. Kumuha lang siya sa ibang sapatos. Anyway, that's fine.
All right, we got the donor tabs all cleaned up. We also went ahead and cleaned up all the loose threads that were on the shoes. Now we got to take it a step further with this prep work. We're going to use a Dremel to shave this area down. We are going to glue these back tabs onto the shoes. We are going to add some simulated stitching as well. But before we do that, we got to do some more prep work.
Pag nagkapera ako guys, bibili rin ako ng ganyan, ng Dremel. Kasi malaking tulong din yan. Lalo na sa pagtanggal ng mga scratches, ganun, mga deep scratches.
All done with that step, the reason why I use a Dremel is because I needed to roughen up these areas in order for these back tabs to adhere nicely onto these shoes.
Ginamit niya yung Dremel, hindi para kuminis yung sapatos, ginamit niya yon para maging rough yung surface, para kakapitan ng pandikit.
Before we get to move on to the next step, we're going to use some acetone and cotton balls to wipe down the glue on the back tabs. Prep is fully complete on the back tabs and shoes. Now we're on to adding our simulated stitching. The reason why I'm going to go this route and not actually sew the back tabs onto the shoes is simply because I don't want to get any stitching on this back area and kind of ruin the inside of the shoe. So this is the next best route we can go. For those of you that don't know what simulated stitching is, it's simply just adding stitching to the back tab so it looks like it's actually sewn onto the shoe.
Hindi niya yun tatayin sa sapatos. Ang gagawin niya lang, para nalagyan niya ng tahi, para magbukang nakatahi talaga siya. Pero didikitan niya with the glue.
Tabs are fully stitched up. They turned out great, but it was a little time consuming. Now we're on to applying it onto the shoes. For this, we're going to be using some barge super stick. We're going to apply it onto the tabs and onto the shoes. We're going to wait a few minutes, let it cure, and then we'll bond it together. But first, let's tape up the shoe. Glue is fully applied onto the tabs and it's fully cured. Now the next thing we gotta do is stick them onto the shoes. First, we gotta heat up the glue on both the shoes and the tabs. Then take our time, very carefully, line it up because we only have one shot at this.
Yun lang yung sinasabi ko guys, papatuyuin mo na yung barge infinity cement tapos i-activate siya using heat gun. Nakita nyo guys, yung tahe, hindi siya tutuloy na tahe. Nilagay lang siya para magbukang tinahi talaga siya. Para magbukang factory finish. Galing na style. Sana magawa ko rin yun in the future. Alam nyo guys, ang dami ko natututunan dito kay Vick Almighty.
Oh man.
Galing, galing.
Back tabs are fully complete. This is one that I'm proud of. They turned out perfect. Literally alignments on point. They look like they're actually...
Di ba? Parang talaga siya nakatahi, oh. Pero hindi. Galing.
stitch on the shoes. I can't complain. This is a quality job.
Nakakuha naman ako ng bagong style guys. Magagamit natin in the future.
Now we're on to the rest of the shoe. Like I mentioned, the shoe is in dead stock condition, but for the last few hours, I've been putting my greasy fingers all over the shoe, so they need to be cleaned up. Whenever I work on client shoes, I always add a deep clean. But in reality,
Actually guys, napakaganda pa ng sapatos, napakinis pa.
the shoe does need a cleaning. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the shoe is over 20 years old. The leather is kind of dried out. It needs to be reconditioned. That's the beautiful thing about our solution. It is 100% natural and it comes with natural oils that's going to help recondition the leather. So for this, we're going to be using our Rejuvenator Starter Kit that you can find at rejuvenator.com or your local Foot Locker. Our starter kit comes with 3 different tools. First, our 2-ounce bottle of solution. Next, we got a medium bristle brush.
Alam nyo guys, before naghahanap ako ng Rejuvenator na cleaning solution. So sa Shopee sa Lazada, meron doon pero yung reviews niya parang fake siya ganun. Kaya hindi ako bumili. Pero dapat talaga ganyan ang bibilin ko. So mahirap lang bumili, guys.
And lastly,
kasi yung sa reviews niya parang fake, sabi parang fake siya.
A microfiber towel. Everything you need for a quick deep clean.
Actually, malinis pa yung sapatos, guys. Ang ganda ng mga b-roll, no? Ganyan yung gusto ko, guys. Hindi ko nga lang magawa kasi wala ako kasama dito. Pero maganda talaga kakalabasan ng video pag may cameraman ka.
Deep clean is complete, super easy. The leather already feels a lot softer. Now we're gonna let these dry for a few hours so you can come back and I can show you guys the proper way on how to recondition old leather on any shoe. All done with the cleaning, the shoes are fully dried. Now we're on to the reconditioning process. For this, we're gonna be using our Rejuvenator mink oil. We use this tool a lot when we're trying to bring back the color on suede after it's been washed out, but this also works great on reconditioning old leather. For example, on these shoes, like I mentioned several times, they are old, it's a little brittle. In order to preserve this old leather for another 20 years, you gotta recondition it. So what we're gonna do is apply some mink oil onto the shoes. We're gonna let it sit for about 24 hours so we can allow time for the leather to absorb that mink oil. After that, we're gonna go in and wipe off any excess. We're back. It's been about 24 hours since we let the mink oil sit on the shoe. Now it's time to wipe off the excess. Right off the bat, I can already see a big difference in its leather. It's a lot softer and healthier. At the end of the day,
Totoo yun, guys. Totoo yun.
these shoes are investments, so make sure you guys are protecting them and taking good care of them so your leather doesn't fall apart in the future. Let's lace them up.
Simple lang yung restoration nyo ngayon.
Alright guys, that is going to bring us to an end on this restoration on these micro-friendly Air Jordan 7s. This was a fun restoration because it allowed me to do something that I've never done in the past, and that is replace the back tabs on the Jordan 7s. I love how they came out. This is one that I'm really proud of. Alignment's on point, the stimulated stitching on point, really clean as well. Everything about it just screams quality. Really easy to do, you guys. If you guys ever had this situation at home, you just got to get a pair of donors, remove them, add some stitching, and glue them onto the shoes. Real easy process.
Ang problema lang dyan, yung pinagtanggalan mo, paano na, di ba? Nawalan siya. Anyway, that's fine.
After that, we moved on to some other restoration work that was needed. On the toe calves, we had a lot of yelling going on, so we busted out
Parang bago na ulit, no?
the Rejuvenator Soda
Yung solution na yun, Salon Care 40.
5.
Meron din tayo niyan, guys.
We applied it and then used some UV rays to help wipe off the yellowing. After that, we used our brand new Rejuvenator Starter Kit to give this a gentle cleaning. You can find that at your local Foot Locker. And lastly, we reconditioned the entire leather the proper way using our mink oil. You can find all our products at rejuvenator.com. Use my promo code down below to save some money. This was a fun project. It's always a good time working on Player Edition sneakers. This is Vic Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See you guys.
So, yun lang, guys. Kung nakita nyo nga yung restoration, simple lang siya. Kumbaga, yung sapatos itself is okay pa. Parang yung back tab lang yung nagka-problema, saka yung yellowing sa may toe area. So, yeah. Kumbaga, kay Vick Almighty is very basic lang yun na restoration kasi wala nang masyadong ibang ginawa. So yeah, every Mondays naman, nag-upload siya. So abang-abang na ulit tayo. Ito marami siyang video guys. Pag mag-review ulit ako, reaction video ulit ako sa mga iba niyang videos na talagang mga deep restoration na, yung mga talagang pangit yung itsura tapos napapaganda. Yung maghahanap ako ng mga videos tapos i-reaction ulit natin. So yun lang. Nag-enjoy naman ako kahit paano may natutunan ako. So yun lang. Bye-bye. Peace.